What's going on, nerds? It is Q&A time. I got a deck pulled up, 3 questions from the community. When is the best time to eat? If my goal is to cut, how hard should I be working out? And then we're going to touch on grip strength. So if you are here and want to learn the answers to those questions or join a really cool community, make sure and stay till the end of the video. So I'm going to share screen and we're going to dive right on in and not waste any more of y'all's time. Let's just get right to it. So 1029 Q&A. Here's the questions that members of the Republic Army, my free community, shared. One of these is also from my one of my clients, so I threw that in here as well. And if you're wondering who I am, my name is Paul. Over the last 7 years, I've been a trainer, nutrition coach, and I've worked with 600 plus people. Now I work specifically with Star Wars nerds. We help them get fit, lose 20, 30 pounds, and then they earn their personalized clone trooper helmet as a symbol of their transformation from Batman or from Bruce Wayne into Batman. So it's cool, it's fun, and that's probably one of the coolest things that I get to say every single time people ask me what I do. So let's dive into question number 1. When is the best time to eat? I'm going to put this off to the side so it's not this taking everything up. Best time to eat. First answer in all this is that it depends. It's going to depend on what you prefer. It's going to depend on how your body handles certain foods. It's going to depend on your stress capacity. Like some people can eat and feel great right after. I typically can work out after a pretty hefty meal sometimes. Even some people, like, they instantly throw up, and that's going to be based off of how well you handle digesting certain foods. It's going to be based off of how stressed you are. Stressed bodies don't digest food. For a little bit of context, if you are being chased by a lion, the last thing your body wants to do in a sympathetic state in fight or flight is digest food. So you may do better not eating. You might be someone that does really well on fasted cardio. It really just does depend. This is going to be general for probably, I'd say, like 85% of people. So before, fuel your performance. That's the big thing you want to be thinking about. You want to fuel your performance. An extreme version of this is carb loading before you go and do a marathon. A less extreme version of this is making sure that your glycogen, your glucose is as high as you can get it so that you go and train and have a really hard training session and you're able to get the most out of what it is that you're doing. So before, think of this as 1 to 3 hours before training, aim for carbs. Ideally, these are going to be simple sugars, things that are easy for your body to digest. If you go and load up with a bunch of high fiber foods, that's going to take longer to digest. If you take a bunch of protein and just slam it down, that takes longer to digest. If you have a bunch of high fat, that's going to take longer to digest. Really focus on fruits, breads, rice, banana, toast, things that are easy for your body to digest so it can quickly be absorbed and converted. A little bit of protein. It's going to also prime the muscle for muscle protein synthesis. So I like Greek yogurt, protein shake. If it's not too heavy, that can be something that you use. And then again, if you do handle eggs or chicken, you can do that, but that would be more towards like the 2 to 3 hour range. As you get closer, let's say it's like 30 minutes before, I would do something really simple like a apple or a piece of toast. Because again, you're trying to just have something really quick so you have something in your stomach. Another lens think through this is if you're doing pre-workout, right, you might not be able to do that off of nothing. Or if you have one of those really acidic energy drinks, that might be really hard on your stomach if you don't have food in there as well. So really just depends on the individual, but typically a higher carb right before, an hour before, is going to be a great route to go there. Now, after, you're going to want to make sure that you set yourself up to recover, that you rebuild muscle, replenish glycogen, and set yourself up to repair and rebuild your muscle. And so the 1 to 2 hours after your training window, that's going to be a recovery window. Now, a lot of times people wonder, oh my gosh, do I need to make sure I get my protein shake in that window? Sure. But at the end of the day, just focus on getting your protein intake throughout the day. It's not the end of the world if you don't have a huge high protein shake right after. Sometimes you know that you got a meal 2 hours away, so you wait for that meal. That's where I would try and just have something right after. Protein, 20 to 40 grams. That's assuming you don't have a meal right after. Again, if you've got a big steak dinner after, you're going to throw down 100 grams of protein. You might go a little bit lighter there. Carbs, depending on the intensity and the duration of your session, you might do more, you might do less, but 30 to 60 grams, which is going to be about 120 to 240 calories there. Example of that, protein shake, banana right after training, full meal an hour to 2 later. Now, there's going to be some context on this as well. If you are someone that is trying to lean out, you might really keep things light, fasted cardio, and then a protein shake after, and that's what you're having. And that protein shake might be a little bit more dense. It might have some different fruit in it. It might have some hemp seeds or some peanut butter, depending on, again, what it is that you're trying to accomplish with that protein shake. Sometimes just protein powder and water. Sometimes it's spinach, protein powder, chocolate milk, and you're really trying to bulk up. And that's kind of where this, I would also say it depends. If you are someone that is trying to get in 3,000, 4,000, sometimes 5,000 calories because you're trying to build, well, now that changes the game. You might make sure that you're eating right before. You might have some carbs during your workout in the form of like mangoes or oranges, some intra-carb fuel to make sure that you can really train hard and keep yourself fed. And then afterwards, you have a protein shake and a big meal. And so that's where I would say it also kind of depends. But just to like zoom out, a way to think about this is like, if this is like too long, didn't read, Paul, quit talking, have an apple about an hour before you work out. You're going to be good to go there. Afterwards, have a protein shake. If it's a meal time, have an actual meal. It's kind of the quick and dirty version of that. That was long-winded. Let's go to the next one. So if my goal is to cut, should every workout be as hard as possible, or should I do recovery days that don't really work my muscles? So I broke it up this way because everything is going to serve a purpose. Training, you want to maintain as much muscle as possible. You want to give your muscles the stimulus. Hey, we're losing fat. We're in a cut, but keep the muscle. We want this to stick around. We don't want to just lose the muscle in the goal of it higher, like the higher goal of weight loss. You want fat loss. You don't just want to lose weight because it can be muscle if you don't keep training hard. Nutrition goal, consistent calorie deficit. That's going to be a given. Recovery goal, increase blood flow, manage stress. When you are in a deficit, you're giving your metabolism in your body less calories than I would ideally have. That can be stressful when you add on other stressors like the holidays, work, travel. Maybe your kids get sick. If you're in too big of a deficit and you're training too hard, that can overload you and you burn out a little bit easier. So blood flow, that's also just to help the muscles recover. It's blood getting to those areas that enables them to recover. So that's where stretching, foam rolling, cold plunge, sauna, all that extra blood flow, even just walking, helps to recover as well. So on training days, you want to signal to your body to hold muscle, aim for 70 to 85% intensity of your 1 rep max, and really just focus on good form. Recovery days, let that signal take effect. Really focus on sleep, nutrition, and movement. That movement could be yoga and walking. It could be riding the bike and walking. It could be just walking, but that should be stuff that doesn't ramp up your nervous system and doesn't get you really in like a heated, strained state, because either your heart rate's really high or you're max lifting. Like, you're going to want to have recovery days. And then every day, obviously maintain that calorie deficit and just focus on consistency. Again, back to the question, if my goal is to cut, should every workout be as hard as possible? No, the workout should be enough to stimulate the muscle. And if you're in especially an extended cut or in a big deficit, that's not going to be the time when you're out PRing lifts. That's going to happen more in a maintenance phase when you're well rested and when you're training, maybe even in a bulk or something to that effect. So just focus on maintaining your strength, and you will, so long as you are consistent. All right, final one. How do we increase our grip strength? Let's say you're Darth Vader and you want to choke out some rebel soldiers, some rebel scum. How do we keep that grip strength up? Or maybe you just want to be able to pull the groceries in and not have to worry about going back for that dreaded second trip. So ingredients here is going to be your flexors, your extensors, and your hand muscles. There's about 35 different muscles between everything in your forearm and everything in your hands. Those are going to need to get bigger. They need to get stronger. Part of strength is motor unit recruitment. So that's your brain's ability to contract the muscles and recruit as many motor units as possible. So the more you practice grip strengthening exercises, or the more you do dead hangs, or the more you do carries, the better mind muscle connection you're going to get to that. It is a bit of skill acquisition on strength. And then from there, you got to have mobility of joints. You got to have good mobility in your wrist. You got to be able to flex, extend, supinate, pronate, all that good stuff. I think one of them is like left to right, just circles. Basically, the ability to go forward and back. That's going to help you transfer energy in a really efficient manner. Now, the specific exercises you're going to look for, and I'm going to see if I can get my mug in here a little bit more. Number one is going to be crush grip. So think about crushing something. So if you can do curls with a fat bar, that is crush grip. If you're crushing a towel and doing pull-ups while crushing that towel, I just posted this on my Instagram. So if you want to get visuals, you can head over to Paul Klingen or Fit for the Republic And that crush grip is going to be what you're focusing on to really develop that grip strength as well as your flexors. Then from there, you're going to have support grip. Support grip is your ability to just hold and maintain. That might be a dead hang that you're holding from up high. That might be a farmer carry and you're holding weight down by your side. But that is your ability to just hold and maintain grip strength over an extended period of time. You're going to feel your forearms blasted and your hands after that. The one I skipped over is pinch grip. So pinch grip, let's say I'm doing a farmer carry and I got a 45-pound plate or 25-pound plate and I'm just walking, holding it. Your hands are going to look like Lego hands as you do it. So think, okay, pinch grip, you're really working, especially your thumb. Study I was looking at, or the whatever data point was 40 to 60% of your strength comes from your hand strength, comes from this juicy muscle right here. So really being able to just lock in almost like a crabby, the Pokemon crab, just pincers, just really pinching that in. So that again could be you squeezing a dumbbell and holding it like this, or you squeezing a plate and holding it like this. So you've got pinches, you've got support, you've got what's the first one that I said? Crush. Then you've also got flexion and extension. So you might do wrist curls this way. You might do barbell wrist curls this way. Another one that I really like to work the brachioradialis right up here, hammer curls. One of my favorite bicep curls of all time because you hit the biceps, you hit the forearm, it just makes you look jacked at the end of the day. And then finally, wrist mobility. So being able to do stretches that get you into extension, doing stretches that get you into flexion. You can go more advanced and do pails and rails and cars, but really just focus on getting in all fours, almost like in a bear plank, and getting into extension, getting into flexion. And as long as you don't have any wrist injuries, you should be able to be just fine focusing on those. Now, from there, let me see what we got in here. I want to make sure I don't skip over anything. Okay, yeah. So I also made a 6-week dead hang progression. So that's in my free community. So just comment below hang, and I'll send you the link to that community. What you're going to want to focus on there really is just aiming to get to a minute. Like aim to get to a minute. That should be baseline for everyone. Strength is one of the, it's most highly correlated with longevity because grip strength or dead hangs is kind of a proxy for just overall strength. It's your body's ability to grip, produce force. And it also has so many carryovers and transfers to being able to be strong in other lifts. If you can't grip, you're going to struggle to progress in your deadlift, in your RDL, in your rows. And so being able to just be strong with your grip is going to have a lot of connection to your brain, being able to recruit muscles across your entire body. And so aiming for a minute, you may not be able to get there now, but that's why that 6-week progression is going to be in there. And then if you want to go full ARC Trooper, Advanced Savage, aim for 2 minutes, but that'll probably take time for a lot of people. That's definitely a big push. So hope that helps. And if anyone here is like, whoa, I like these, then drop any comments, questions down below. Join the Republic Army. And if you're like, hey, I'd actually like to get a little bit of extra support, some community, I'd love a helmet, and I want help defeating the Dadbot Empire, link to work together is going to be down below, or you can just go to my website, fitfortherepublic.com. Otherwise, I'll catch you guys in the next Q&A or in the next video. Thanks for watching. Bang.